there's been a pretty marked jump from the last time we saw him in 19, and his command of the offense. You can see that there's a confidence level that he's playing with right now. Arguably, the most talented offensive weapon we've seen all season. Like he's really dangerous. And again, like you said, he's been really equally dangerous. Everybody thinks about just him and his legs, which is he's smooth and he can run there. But what he's done in the pocket this year, he's got 18 touchdown passes, 18 rushing touchdowns to have 36 total touchdowns is pretty remarkable. So to say it's a huge challenge is a little bit of an understatement.
John Hale.
Brad, Mark talked a little after the game on Monday that J.J. Weaver's still maybe not 100% health-wise, but how have you seen him grow over the course of this year? Where has he improved the most?
You know what? I think from an improvement standpoint, his ability to prepare for a game. I think he's more dialed in terms of what's needed to prepare, sort of, the term prepare like a pro. Like he studies his tackles. He comes early. This is really the first year that he'll come up 30 minutes before meetings even start, both on his own and, he'll grab a coach that's available and say, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what about these tackles? What about how should I play this? He's really dialed in that standpoint. There's some things that we're still smoothing out from a pass rush standpoint that, are just some habits that we have to break. And you can see throughout the season, we're starting to break those. It's not completely, those habits, they take time. But he's aware and he's trying and he's working. And then I've been proud of his toughness, even when it's been a little bit sore, when you maybe protect, something or you're mindful of, say, his knee, it makes you vulnerable in other parts of your body. Those things start to compensate, so they get a little bit more sore. And he's done a good job of pushing through some dings, some soreness. And it's really been all about the team for him. And he knows that we need him, especially with, some of our depth issues. And he's never balked once. He's like, you need me? I'm going. Let's go. And again, he's not 100, but he will be next year, and he'll be better than ever.
Nick Roush.
You all have really picked up the sack and kind of havoc production as of late. How do you preach your guys to keep up that intensity and tenacity while also remain disciplined to a guy who's really elusive back there in the pocket?
Yeah, that's a great question. From a standpoint of when you play a dual threat quarterback, a mobile quarterback, and if somebody is electric and elusive, as Malik, it can take your stinger out a little bit. And to some extent, you kind of need it out, because if you go wild or willy-nilly, he's going to make it look silly quick. So you have to be under control, and you have to have multiple hats. I think that's the key. Guys have to fly around in packs on Saturday, because if you just put it on one guy, that's not a good recipe. Now, there's going to be times that a guy's going to be in a one-on-one matchup to try to get him down, or one of the wide receivers or running back, and they're going to have to make that play. I mean, the teams that have had success, or at least might come up that, have been able to make some of those plays. He's going to make guys miss. That's why he's a special player. But you have to have guys that are there in support, hunting the football, so that if he does make one miss, at least that guy made it slow him down for guy 2 or 3 or 4 to come in and make the play.
Kent Spencer.
Brad, what have you thought, especially in the last few weeks about the play of your all secondary, and how much will they be tested this week against, like you kind of mentioned a few times, Malik can do a little bit of everything, but they can also take the top off of it.
Yeah, they're going to be challenged. This group of wide receivers has, a lot of pace to them. They can take the top off. You look at, some of the longs, they've got a 92-yarder, a 93-yarder, or a 76-yarder. I mean, so, their top three wideouts can really go. Their tight end is a big threat in the passing game. So the secondary will be challenged. How do I feel like they've done? I mean, I think at times, I've been proud of how they've competed. At others, we still have to, we're going to give up pass. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, that's football. Like you're going to, in 50-50 situations, and, guys are going to throw and catch the ball. What you want it to be is a competitive catch. There are some situations I thought we panicked, and we just need to get better, when the ball's in the air. That's something we'll continue to try to improve upon. But I think that the confidence level is growing. I think there was a point there in the season that it might have dipped a little bit. And that's your job as a coaching staff to try to build that back up, because you can't play in the back end without confidence. If you've learned nothing from the guys that have been here before, and Kelvin and Eccles, and you go back to the 2018, those guys, they had ultimate belief that they were going to make a play. Even if they didn't make every play, they believed that they could. So when you're back there and you've got nobody behind you, you've got to have sort of this uber confidence that, you know what, I'm going to make this play. And so are we there yet? No. But we've got another game, and, they're going to be tested, and hopefully this continues that development process.